Welcome back, troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we're going to answer some viewer questions. In case you don't know, I do offer private help sessions on my website. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just recently had to increase my prices because I've just been getting so many questions. I spend, 4 or 5 hours a day answering them, and then I can't actually make a video. So Rap is looking to buy a Gibson 2020 bass. If you don't know what that is, it looks like this. It's a very strange iceberg bass that kind of has the whole Steinberger vibe to it because it was actually designed by Ned Steinberger. They made very few of these basses, and I've came close to buying 2 of them, but usually the condition is really bad. They don't sell for a huge premium despite being ridiculously rare. I actually found one of these a week ago, but in the listing it said, "I can't buy it," so I don't know what that guy was trying to hide. It was down in Mexico. Yeah, right here. Please, if you are the Trogly's Guitar Show guy, please don't buy it, or contact me first if you want the bass guitar. And what's really strange is he has that in every single one of his listings. The other one he has is this chopped up Explorer, which I thought was really cool, so I had made him an offer on it. And once again, the same disclosure. Unfortunately, I never heard back from him after messaging him to see what was up, but oh well. Because he does have some pretty cool guitars, but this was the last one I saw that came up for sale. And unfortunately, it looks like it's already sold. Otherwise, I wouldn't be showing you guys this listing because I'd want to make sure whoever asked the question got first dibs on it. But it's just kind of a weird thing. It doesn't even have Gibson on the headstock. My favorite thing about it, though, is you get this little leg rest here. And check out where the serial number is. It's on the side of the headstock. How cool is that? And the only Gibson branding is right here. And the other one he's looking for is a Sigma by Gibson, whatever this is. Let's look that up. It's like, it reminds me of those Telecaster basses, but it's got kind of a Gibson-esque style to it. A Tele-style pickup right there. It's even mounted the same way. I wonder if it has the metal plate underneath it there. This thing is interesting. Kind of reminds me of like a Ripper's headstock or neck. I want to be very clear when I say that I'm going to be looking for this guitar. That is, if I can remember. I get so many people asking me to be looking for this and that, and unless it's something that I'm already looking for, like the 2020 bass, usually I'm not going to be able to find your message again. I need to develop a nice little program that just has it all laid out for me so I know what I'm looking for, so I can actually offer, a hunting service for used guitars. I can do it for new guitars right now, but used, not at the moment. But here's your best bet if you're looking for something. If you're on Reverb, you see this little button right here? No matter what you search, let's say Gibson Les Paul, you're going to see this button right here. So if you click that, it's going to add it to your daily feed email. And if you're like me, you don't want emails about it, you just unselect it and you save and continue. And then every day when you log in and click My Feed up here, you're going to see everything that you've added to your feed. I just have a general search of Gibson, so I see everything Gibson that's ever listed. Sometimes there is a delay in these, but then I also have special models that I'm specifically looking for, like Spotlight Specials and things like that. eBay has a very similar thing as well. They have a saved category right here, and pretty much on this one I have Gibsons from certain years. I mean, this is where I used to do all my buying, but now I rarely even touch eBay. But this is kind of a similar thing. But you just do your search and then save this search. It's right here. Our next one comes from Christopher. This is a general inquiry. Looks like we've got a question about Les Paul Juniors. He's in the market for a TV Yellow Junior, and he wants to know why there is a huge price difference between historic 57s and the standard Juniors. Okay, so this is essentially what the difference is between it. You've got custom shop level and you've got Gibson USA level. The USA level stuff, it's good. It's nothing to sneeze at, but the custom shop brings it to a whole different level. They're gonna get things like the neck profile more akin to like the vintage ones. And the feel's gonna be different because they're gonna use more choice woods. There's gonna be a little bit more time put into those guitars, potentially built by more skilled craftsmen. So it is a huge difference. And a lot of people wouldn't actually buy a historic Junior like that, but some people, they just swear by them. So while these guitars might look similar, they are not the same. So the one he's looking at here is $2,899. That is a lot to spend on a single pickup Les Paul Jr. style guitar, and it doesn't make sense for most people. On the used market, you can normally pick these guys up around like that 17 to 22 market range. But here's another difference, the quality of the finish. Something else you'll get on these is like the vintage reissue style tuners. You'll have the ink stamp serial number, a fancier case. These will normally come with a COA, but he wants us to compare that to this one that you can get for $899, and even that is kind of overpriced. So 2015, the difference, if you're only comparing it between those two, is these guys have the wider neck profile. Not everybody likes that. Some people like it even more, some just absolutely hate it. 2015 historically was not a good year for Gibson. Here's another small difference. Remember how I was talking about the finish itself? Take a look at that. That is a solid yellow color. Whereas this is a proper TV yellow. You can still see the wood grain underneath it. So if you're a historic buff and you know the difference between those two, that's going to be something that really sets you off as to why you want the vintage reissue. Whereas this thing, yeah, it's going to get you close in looks. It's going to play just fine, but it's just not quite the same. And yeah, like he said, you've got the robot tuners. This one actually has the limited edition anniversary case. Our next question is from Kenneth. He's asking me about this Aria Les Paul. This is why I have that disclaimer. Please contact me just in case I don't know anything, because Aria, not my strong suit, but sometimes just because I know all the keywords and things to search for on Reverb, Google, places like that, I can still help. So let's take a look here. Aria Pro 2 1982 PE60 Gloss Honeyburst. It kind of reminds me of an ESP. Doesn't ESP have something that does this like whoosh that continues onto there? It's a very sharp cutaway. I give them props. They weren't just trying to steal the Les Paul shape on this. Looks like it has like a harmonica-esque style bridge, and I think doesn't Ibanez do something like that? And it has that PRS style recessed knob into the body. Oh wow, and it looks like you have pickups that have double pole pieces that are adjusted, kind of like Gibson does with the Dirty Fingers. That's interesting. They've even recessed that into the body. Those are interesting inlays as well. They get larger as you go down. So it looks like it's just a regular trapezoid there, but then they start getting super small. And that's like a Heritage-esque headstock before Heritage existed. This is a freaky guitar. I'm intrigued. But now we have the task of finding out how much this thing's worth. It's apparently the only one on the market. Let's see if there's something that's not a 1982. Okay, so it looks like we found one here that's listed for $1,000. Jeez. But if you look in the sold listings, it looks like $375, some of them as high as $850. But you got to remember, these are not final sales prices. You still have to take educated guesses as to what it might have sold for. So a guitar like this, I would say it's probably worth anywhere between $400 to $500 because that's what I'm seeing here. Some can be had for less than that. So now that we know that, so this guy's asking $475, and this is with the killer. It's from Japan, so another $100 for shipping. That puts it just still slightly above what somebody should be paying, but if you really wanted it, you could purchase it. But if it came time to sell it, you'd likely lose a little bit of money. So this is just one of those cases of how badly do you want it? Because it doesn't appear that this seller is willing to lower his price anymore. Sometimes you can still message them though and get them to at least give you free shipping. That's a good haggle, but when it comes to international stuff, they're usually not that lenient because it's kind of an inconvenience to ship things overseas. And that looks like the end of my premium questions, so let's go over to my Facebook page, grab a few from there. Here's someone telling me about the Trogly's guitar thing. I really want to know what this guy's issue is with me as well. Is he trying to hide something about his guitars and he doesn't want somebody that's knowledgeable to look at them, or just you want to talk to me? I don't understand. Maybe he just doesn't want his guitars featured. Are they stolen? I keep thinking the worst, but it's probably just some, oh, I want to talk to you type thing, and he missed my initial message. But I would love to know. Maybe he just doesn't like me for some reason. Oh, this is kind of a cool situation. So Tim has purchased a guitar that I posted on my Facebook page. Which if you're on Facebook, definitely go like my page, because what I do is throughout the day, if I find a deal that is good, but not quite good enough for me to buy it, or I'm just too lazy to buy and resell it because I don't have a purpose to review and demo it, I'll post it up here. And if you buy through these links, you are supporting my channel because they are affiliate links. but sometimes I can help people find good guitars. So like this one was a 1988 Gibson Les Paul Standard. Unfortunately, it has sold. There are ways around to get to see that again, but I'm not going to bother with it. But like here was a good find with the Les Paul Studio, just had a stupidly rare 70s Gibson case. I mean, if that case was in better shape, that would be worth just as much as the guitar. But usually when I post a guitar like that, it sells really quickly. Hi Tim, thanks for the offer and congrats on the guitar. Unfortunately, I'm just too backed up. I mean, I'm like 50, 60 guitars. I'm overwhelmed. I need to hire an assistant or something, but I don't know anything about hiring employees. But I think I'm going to have to very quickly find a way to do it, because then maybe I could actually do 2 uploads a day. Would you guys like that? Because I figure I could outsource videos like these to somebody else, but I really want to find a local editor because sending the footage, it just takes forever. And then I could just work on my own reviews and demos. Here's somebody showing me photos of what he did to his 2010 traditional. So it started off, a 2-pickup thing, but he's an Ace Frehley fan. So he's masked it all out to do the 3rd pickup route. And looking through here, I'd say he did a pretty good job. This is how you tell that a 3rd pickup route has been added. You don't have any color in there. Now, somebody could take some spray and go psst to try to trick you, and that's when you gotta have a real expert look at it and make sure that it's what it is. But it seems like he did a pretty good job on that. He must have a professional thing to route it, because sometimes those route jobs can be very sloppy. Cool. And to answer your question, yes, I do actually have a classic custom that is built like this. These are basically the cheapest way to get an Ace Frehley style guitar without doing the modifications yourself. And Sim is asking about the Positive Grid Spark amp. So I guess production just keeps getting shifted back. There's a lot of controversy that it's just a big scam. The amps do exist. They've been shipped out to some people. I really think it just comes down to they've taken more pre-orders than they can actually sell to at this time. It is a nice little product. I've often thought, well, I'm not using it too much now that I stopped doing that practicing series. Well, for the time being anyways. But I just can't bring myself to sell it because I love that the metronome can play through that speaker. It's nice and loud. It's all in that little app on your phone. I do like them. Hopefully they can get production ramped up, but with the way the world is right now, it's probably going to take them longer, so it just has something to do with that. And here's somebody sharing me a really nice blueberry burst. I think I did a video on this one, potentially. It's a very similar one, if not the exact same one. I thought that was a very nice top on him. It's got a very, very pronounced chevron flame. It's nice to see some regular photos of that one, not all, Photoshop edited to look as perfect as they do, or under direct sunlight, because this is what it's going to look like in your room, and it's still fantastic. Oh, this is kind of cool. It says this guy owns Gibson 2550 numbered 95. We were just talking about those yesterday, how the first 100 are supposed to have the new old stock flame tops. That one seems to be pretty nice. But apparently, this is just Ace Frehley night. It was supposed to be his old guitar, and he's had it since 92. Man, that's cool to see that. So my serial number was 721281114. I'll always remember that number, so it definitely does go in order, at least for the first amount of them. I think mine was 47, something like that. Though, just as a word of advice, if you're not trying to buy something on my Reverb shop, I would prefer you not to email me here. I know a lot of people they don't know where to go to email me, but my email is listed on every single video in the description. And you can also contact me on my website. So that's going to end this episode of Viewer Ask Questions. I hope you enjoyed and learned something, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.